What it is, you guys, it is yo girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the drama like prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Hoping. Because you got to hold your breath for justice. To see justice before all face to bleak. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, guys, I am coming through today. Um, It is January. Girl, how I get to January? June. The other J. It is June the 2nd, 2025. Girl, I got what? 3 more days before your girl birthday. But anyways, I am coming through. I wasn't even about to record no video. I released a video that I had recorded several days ago and never released. And I was gonna call it quits. I was gonna go ahead, fold my laundries and such and do whatever I need to do because I wasn't even supposed to be working today. Hold on. Before we get into any of this, I don't want all that. I promise you, every time there was not one notification until I pushed record. That's when you have notifications flooding through, buzzing and this and that. But anyways, I was not even going to record no video. But when I came home, I chill, listen to my YouTubers that I listen to and stuff. And I go to, optimizing my stuff, still struggling, trying to get my channel going somewhere after all this time. Like, girl, I'm wishing on a star at this point. But I come across this video. Now, on my way to Vizzo on Sunday, I was watching a video. I can link that one in the description box, about Antoine Massey. And I'm not saying his name correctly, probably. Antoine Massey. And I was watching a video about his aunt that was making a plea for people to just stop. Of course, because you don't know the whole story, you don't know what this boy been through, and just chill because her mother, I think it's his grandmother, is just going through the most right now. The father, the elders in the family are not well enough to take the stress that is happening behind this. So could y'all just please? He is one of the guys that escaped, they said, from a Louisiana jail. Okay, so most of them have been caught. I believe it's down to only 2 that have not been caught, and he is one of the 2. So many people, I read a lot of the comments. None of the comments was trying to hear nothing that she was saying. They were saying, yeah, I'm sorry about your family, but he's pretty much a criminal and should not have done what he did. He did this, he did that. You don't know what you never said anything about the victims, but yet you're asking for leniency on your nephew, right? Like, I seen nothing that was like, but, I listened to the story. And I listen with open ears because I already know the way they paint these pictures, the way they spin these stories, these narratives. I know they usually leave out pertinent information. The part that would show that you're innocent, they conveniently leave that out and just put other stuff in there so that people, the public and the jury, can do nothing but find you guilty. So I don't just believe stuff because it's been reported. That is not how I roll. I know my husband has been wrongfully incarcerated for the last 23 plus years. I know firsthand how they manipulate this stuff around. So I'm definitely not going to call no judgments on nobody till I know your whole story. And it's hard to even know a whole story. So I ain't calling no judgments. That's basically, But usually I wouldn't cover a story like this because I touch on wrongful convictions. That is my niche. That is my thing. That's my passion, and I do believe it's my purpose, because upon fighting for my husband, who has been wrongfully incarcerated for the last 23 years, the biggest part of my battle is just getting anybody to believe that it happens. But the problem is, it didn't just happen in my husband's case. It happens all the freaking darn time, and nobody believes you. So you spend most of your time, I cover wrongful convictions. They usually don't take nothing less than 10 years. The shortest is 10 years. The longest is 42. Valentino Dixon did 27. You giving decades of your life before they possibly find you innocent and exonerate you. There are those that just have to play through their wrongful conviction, like my husband. At this point, I'm giving up hope. Like, literally, I've tried everything. I've reached out to everybody, which I have Project Reach the World. I've done all that is in my power to do. There's nothing else that we can do but survive and outlive his wrongful conviction. So when I listen to what he just said, now, Antoine Massey, I don't know how, but he's recording a video and he has a plea. So we're going to listen to that. And he's actually saying that he's innocent of these crimes that they have him in jail for. So that's a heck of a way, like, literally get yourself out. Honestly, that may have been the only way. Like, nobody would probably lend him an ear. Girl, that's crazy. Like, this world it's crazy now. Things that you wouldn't even imagine. But let's listen to what he got to say. We hear people out. Now, he's saying that he was let out. He's making known he did not ESCI, because I don't know what we say online, girl, so I'm going to just spell it out. ESCAPED. He did not escape, girl. He didn't escape. He was let out.
I was in custody for almost 8 months. All right, 6 months, something like that. I was in there for theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse involving strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish for. Okay, but before I was in Orleans Parish, I was in a jail called St. Tammany Detention Center. All right, St. Tammany Jail here in St. Tammany Parish. There's two different parishes, Orleans and St. Tammany. Okay, today what I want to talk about is that I was on second-degree kidnapping, second-degree rape, domestic abuse, battery, involving strangulation, domestic abuse, battery, violation of protected order, right? On this woman right here, her name is Diamond White. That's her name. This is a district attorney drop form right here. And she's not a child, she's an adult, a full adult. I was dating this.
Now, listening to his charges, now, I know they do like to sentence BLK men to 3 to 4 times more time in prison for the same crimes than other men. But listening to his charges, if convicted, how long would they carry? Would they carry? Because the risk that he just took, that's a hefty risk. That's a hefty risk that he just took. Like, how much time would they give him for those charges that he just said, rightfully or wrongfully? Like, how much would, because they don't sound like charges that, like, warrant, like, life or anything like that. Like, would it be like a decade? And I know any day in prison for a crime you did not commit is too many days. Like, even being detained or arrested for something you did not do is way too much time. But that's a drastic move. But I guess is your freedom is worth.
This is a legalized affidavit saying all allegations against me is false. Remember, all allegations against me.
So he's holding up a document that he's saying is actually, like, he got the stamp and everything that is saying that he's innocent.
It's false. I was nowhere around her or none of that during the timing of the date, which was November the 10th of 2024. Okay, so I was in Centennial, right, and I was on a regular domestic charge, right. So they put a parole hold on me because I was on a domestic charge. So that being said, is that once that occurred, and the charges was refused or whatever, they shipped me to Orleans Parish where I had no charges.
Hold on. Don't tell me it's about to go into an ad. Right now my screen just loading. Okay, and it's just loading and loading and loading. Oh, that's because why am I on the house's Wi-Fi? It's always something.
Domestic abuse, battery, involved discrimination. So once I got in Orleans Parish jail, all right, I had from the district attorney's office this woman who they say that I initially raped in another parish and in Orleans Parish. It's the same woman. It's not different females. It's the same grown woman, not a child, a grown woman. Okay, she did the same thing in Orleans Parish, right? Correct. I'm about to show you how the system is corrupted. Okay.
Now, this is the part that people don't like to believe, that the system is corrupted. There's very much a malfunction. It's not even to the point where it's malfunctioning. But then there's the debate whether it's working the way they really want it to, or is it malfunction. This thing is just not, it's not conducive of justice. It's too many of it's the practices that they do. Now, practically, the system, the law, everything is set up correctly. But in real life, the way it plays out, they cut too many corners, they wheel too many wheels, they deal too many deals. Whoever squeals first gets the deal first, girl. And it's too much other stuff going on to where they're not even considering these cases on the grounds of evidence or lack of evidence. The integrity of many of these cases, there is no integrity. So they kind of rush people through. They stick you with them charges. Like I've said before, I cover wrongful convictions, and I said it's like a trap. You just got caught in a bear trap, like, honestly. And it's out there, and whoever gets caught in it, okay, you caught. That's how it's so many innocent people in prison. And I say court was held today. Somebody somewhere in these states got wrongfully convicted today. Somebody. And that's sad. And it's like, we honestly don't care, and we really don't want to hear it. What we do is so I guess if we knew people were really innocent and incarcerated, it would kind of make us feel bad. Like, have you ever heard of a narcissistic relationship, right? And in narcissism, the narcissist is always going to avoid shame. They don't want to feel anything that's shame. They know that they're wrong. They know that they've done you wrong, but they don't want to feel shame. It's almost the same thing here. Like, people are being harmed, hurt, families broken, severed. They destroyed our family. They didn't destroy it, but they broke our family. We were too resilient for them to destroy, but they broke us. But the way people move on with life as normal is they say, well, those are criminals. And stop supporting the criminal and you wouldn't go through that. And they justify it by basically blaming you, the victim of the system, rather than blaming the system for victimizing you. And the way that they sit well with it is because they refuse to even hear that it's happening, let alone believe that it's happening. But guess what? It's still happening, whether you believe it or not. It's still happening.
The system is corrupted. Okay, she did this, right? Saying all allegations against me is false. And she even saying it, she let them know the truth that I never did this to her. I never hit her. I was nowhere around her. Nothing. She got mad and thought that I was dealing with another woman. That's why she did what she did to me. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too, once I got into Oni's parish, I was there for like a month or something like that. Okay, a lot went on as that time progressed. Okay, if you was an innocent person and you know the judges and DA know that this person is saying that all the charges that you're on that you did not do, why was you still in jail? Louisiana have the highest
Because, like they said before, innocence is no reason to be released from jail. That was the decision maker over Kevin Strickland that said that they found him factually innocent, but innocence is no reason to be released.
Conservation rate in the world for putting black people away. Yes, at the end of the day, in my younger life, I'm not gonna lie, I was causing problems. I was young. My daddy got killed when I was 7 years old. My mom had to raise 4 children by herself.
So that's how it's easy. Like, once you have that record, you in that system, it's easy to get you. It's already, without a record, my husband had no priors. It's already easy to put you in that system. But if you've already had a record, you've already been found guilty of something, they assume you're guilty of one crime, you're guilty of all of them. That's why, like, when they don't even know what you're in prison for. It could be something small, a petty crime, but the inhumane circumstances people go through, they say, oh, well, shouldn't have never did what you did, and you wouldn't be in those inhumane. You don't even know what the person's in there for, or are they innocent? But it's so much judgment, and once you're deemed and you're labeled a criminal, nobody cares what they could put every crime on you and it won't matter, because you've already been deemed criminal. You got that damaged goods on you, and that's how it is. So at that point, there probably wouldn't need to be no work to even get him, but he's in jail, so he hasn't even been convicted yet, though. So he's in. Wow.
So I had to find a way to try to help my mother. You feel what I'm saying? But as time went on, the person that I once was, I'm not that person today. That is not who I am. I have a 3-year-old son.
They don't believe in rehabilitation at all. The real answer to lowering your crime rates is rehabilitation, but I'm sorry, society does not believe in rehabilitation. They believe that, and then they actually don't believe that it's connected to us. A person coming from prison would do better if they were rehabilitated than if they weren't. That a rehabilitated person most likely is going to come back and be an asset to the community rather than a detriment. But see, people do not see that. There's no room for redemption, right? And they don't really rehabilitate within prisons. All they really doing is shelving human life, shelving them. right? And a human that's been just locked down for that long, what do they come out as? Do they come out as better humans? Like some might, but what's the average person gonna come out as being? First, if you innocent, that means that they've turned that innocent person to a non-innocent person now, because really in prison you ain't even treated innocent. Even if you is innocent, they don't care about that. That means nothing. So you're taking a innocent person and conditioning them to be a survival of the fittest type person, right? They have to, you adapt to your environment. You have to, especially within prison, you got to adapt to your environment. Like, how else are you going to make it? How are you going to get through these long sentences?
I have an 18-year-old daughter that graduated yesterday, supposed to be. At the end of the day, that people don't understand that they see that I'm owned in names. I have a heart. These are the hated.
No, I didn't catch the ad. I was trying to put it down before it goes through the ad. But yeah, as you can quickly
People don't understand that they see that I'm
be in
owned in
them
names. I
shoes.
have a heart. People that know me know that at the end of the day, I am a good person. So I'm asking for help from the world, from Meat Mills.
That remind me of my project called Project Reach the World. And what I found on this journey is that the world don't care. I reached out to the world. I'm sorry, sir, the world don't care. But it might be one individual that can actually help you. But he's asking for celebrities and stuff. And another thing I found out, that's how I tried to break my husband's story, through rapping. And I found out the industry itself, you can't say what you want to say. So he may be reaching out to people that might not be able to really help him like that. Maybe they can, but maybe they bound to not be able to, advocate for justice like they would want to.
Lil Wayne, Young Boy, Donald Trump. I'm asking for these people. I couldn't even get a lawyer. I couldn't even afford a lawyer to prove.
That's what it's about. He said the right word. You got to afford justice. Which is a justice if it's a cost to it. A cost to justice. So those who cannot afford justice get injustice, and those that can afford justice possibly get justice. Even, look at this part. Now, y'all care about the flip side, but what about the guilty parties that are getting out because they have the money to pay to do so? Do y'all care about that? Do y'all realize that is why the society, the communities ain't getting no safer? Because it's about who can afford, not about just and unjust.
My innocence, why I was in Orleans Parish jail. They said that I broke out. I didn't break out. I was let out. My name is Antoine Massey. The guy who said that I threatened him with a shank, the maintenance guy, how could I threaten you with a shank? If you can't come around me, you're...
So they reporting that they broke out. That too, like, how the heck could they have broke out? That ain't making no sense. So did they ever tell in the story how they actually did this? He's saying he was let out.
You cannot come on the tills without a deputy being behind you. Because if they just let you on the till, you could be persuaded to bring drugs or anything like that nature. So how can I threaten you to kill you? And why you didn't notify the people, the police, that if I did threaten you, you never did that?
See, the public would know something like this. There's something, if you've been in prison, you know that type of stuff. But the public that's going to judge you doesn't know inside information like that.
Like, you flat out lied on me. He certainly flat out lied on me. And I want to let the media know that from the straight tattoos in my face and things of that nature, of course they're going to believe Sterling. You know what I'm saying? I never told Sterling nothing. I'm willing to take a lie detector test and everything behind that. But that's another subject. Orleans Parish is one of the corruptedest jails. That in St. Tammany Parish is the corruptedest jails in the state of Louisiana. Why was I even incarcerated with a woman saying that this never happened? This is this woman's name.
Because it's not about guilt or innocence. It's about getting the conviction.
This is the charge, domestic abuse discrimination. This is about the shit in St. Tammany. Why was I in Orleans Parish? Why was I even in jail? That's what I'm trying to show y'all. That's why I left the jail. And they have a lot more brothers that's innocent, just like me.
That's
trying
true.
to prove they're innocent. That's why they
That's
ran.
true.
Jason Williams.
And they can't afford it, so they go down. Just like my husband, 24 years of his innocent life has been given to Florida DOC. And ain't nobody lost no sleep but me. Oh, that rhymed and I wasn't even trying, girl.
The sheriff, Susan Hudson, these people are corrupted. These people was talking to St. Tammany and telling St. Tammany they gonna sentence me behind this, and telling St. Tammany if they can't give me, St. Tammany gonna get me. You see what I'm saying? Behind a woman that's a grown adult that never stated that I ever raped her. They have a detective that's over the case that's trying to pursue charges on me because of my prior history. Who I was in the past is not who I am today.
So I'm reviewing. Now it says from channel, I guess it's 2WBRZ. I'm reviewing their video. But this video looked like it was recorded of a phone recording a phone. So I don't even know where this original video comes from. But I am reviewing for entertainment purposes only.
So I'm asking for the media.
My
I don't have a
opinions.
lawyer to help me. I'm asking for help. That's why I ran.
Wow. Another ad. It's sad. People will say, well, if you innocent, what they gonna say is if you innocent, then you fight it through the courts. That's why I hold my breath at the beginning of my intro, girl. Okay. When I say hoping, because you got to hold your breath for justice, girl. All right. Fight it through the courts.
Orleans Parish and St. Tammany is one of the corruptest parishes in the world. And I'm asking for help. There's a lot of corruption. There's killings, all type of stuff going on, and they covering it up. They don't care about nothing. In the state of Louisiana, this is something that needs.
But I'm a beg to differ that it's outside of Louisiana too. It could be bad there, but this is pretty much, it's not a localized thing that's happening. This is everywhere. Like, it is, honestly, this system is slavery rebranded. That's what it is. I know people say, oh, slavery was so long ago. Get over it. Like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and this and that. It never ended. It was just done a different way. A more acceptable way. A way that even those that were enslaved would actually support. Because we support. You know why we support this? Okay, so the reason we support mass incarceration is because they say that it's happening to keep us safe. Now, what was slavery happening for? They couldn't say we have slavery to keep you safe. Right? What was the justification in slavery? But now the justification of mass incarceration to keep the community safe, but we ain't no safer, girl. Now you with it because you want to be safe, right? You want to be safe. So even you who are affected by this modern slavery is with it because you want to be safe, right? But are you safe?
Investigation. What's going on? How they having cases? Why Antoine Massey was in jail if the woman, the victim, the wrong woman, not a child, the wrong woman.
I did say his name wrong. He says Anton. I'm sorry. I said it wrong. I thought it was Anthony. I'm sorry.
He never raped her. He never beat her. He was nowhere in her presence. This is the affidavits on the date right here. This is the drop form from the district attorney office. This woman did this. I didn't do this.
They know what they be doing. They know.
So I'm asking, please.
But they know nobody's gonna ask no questions. Nobody gonna question. They said they keeping us safe, and ain't gonna be no questions asked. They keeping us safe.
Young boy, bills, people, LBL. You know what I'm saying? People that been through the system that know it's corrupt. Lil Wayne, Donald Trump. Please, I'm asking for.
Those people that been through it, that know how it is, they keep them where they can't hardly say too much. This is why I can't get my channel to grow. They don't want my voice out there telling the truth, like for real. Allegedly.
Help. You know what I'm saying? When I get back in custody, I'm asking y'all please to come help. You feel what I'm saying? I'm asking Donald Trump, please, I'm asking for help.
He said when he get back in custody.
You know what I'm saying? When I get back in custody, I'm asking y'all please to come help. You feel what I'm saying? I'm asking the world to let y'all know I'm not a raper, man. I'm not none of that.
And his aunt was pleading to please just take him if you catch him, just take him in. He ain't gonna hurt nobody. Just
none of that. I'm a good person. I am a father that want to be in my children's life. You know what I'm saying? I want to let the younger youth know that going down the route of trying to be a shoe person is not the route. That's what type of person I am. Yes, I was lied on.
That's the truth, but they don't want to stop these cycles. These cycles pay. These cycles ensure the next generation going through the same thing. It secures certain industries. So that's why they don't want to really prevent the youth from, because the opposite of crime is not incarceration. Hold on, Joel. How Joel done came on? Joel Osteen. The opposite of crime is not incarceration. That's not going to fix crime. It's education, programs, community, resources. That's going to fix your crime.
They made certain lie on me. All the guys, they picked me for him to lie on. I'm not saying Sterling a bad guy, but why did you pick me to lie on, bro? It's bigger than.
He could have been made to do it. They will make them witnesses say whatever they need to say.
I don't know why they picked me for him to lie on, but I never threatened Sterling ever. How could I threaten Sterling or hurt Sterling?
I'm not saying that I know that's what's happening. I'm just saying I know how this system is. That's a clear option of what could have happened is what I'm saying. I'm giving options of what could have happened. See, I got a perspective of a person that has been hurt by the system and whose family has been torn apart and not destroyed. I have not been destroyed. Glory be to God. But broken by the system. So I got a different perspective than y'all law-abiding citizens, which I am a law-abiding citizen. But when I use it in that term, that's y'all that sit up high and y'all look down low. And many of y'all that did do stuff, but y'all the one that got the hot potato off of you and you squealed and you got the deal, girl. And you free, but now you can condemn others looking down. Shouldn't have never did what you did. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time and all that other stuff. I give the perspective from the other side. I don't give that holier than thou perspective. I was almost wrongfully arrested going to see my husband. I was accused of having substances of dogs hitting on my car. Girl, I have never in my life had nothing to do with substance. Ain't never had a smoke, a drink. I had one drink before in my whole goddamn life. I've never smoked, never drank, but I'm accused of having dogs hit on my car. And I'm like, okay, so where the dogs at? Oh, we put the dogs up because it's Florida and it's hot. The dogs could suffocate. Girl, how y'all put the dogs up that goddamn fast? If dogs hit on my car, show me how the dogs hit on my car. They were trying to set me up. And I'll be going to jail way out in the boondocks on the Florida-Alabama line. And who they gonna believe? Y'all would have been telling me, girl, you shouldn't have did what you did, and all that dumb stuff, instead of listening to the aspects of a person's plea before judging. This is why, per the law, you're supposed to be innocent to proven guilty. But it's hard for humans to keep their own biases out of a case to even listen to the necessary elements.